Several delegates, including ministers, postmasters generals, and other high-ranking officials from across the Caribbean and the world, will be converging in the territory for the 18th Annual Caribbean Postal Union Conference. The conference will run from September 14th to 18th and will be observed under the theme, The Future Post, Postal Harmonization and Sustainability. I am Information Officer Cherie Smith for the Department of Information and Public Relations. Joining me on today's program is Postmaster General from the BVI Post Office, Ms. Pasha Stout, to discuss the Caribbean Postal Union Conference. Ms. Stout, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Can you share with us what is the Caribbean Postal Union?
The Caribbean Postal Union is a intergovernmental agency made up of postmasters general and ministers that are responsible for posts in the Caribbean. The countries that are represented in the union are the Caribbean countries, and then the additions are the United States, Canada, the Netherlands, the United Kingdom. And these countries, basically, everyone will basically think, well, why would these if they're not Caribbean countries? However, there are overseas territories from each of these countries inside of the Caribbean, so they also represent those countries in the union.
Noted. And can you share with us some of the benefits for the BVI for being a part of this union?
I'll give you one major benefit. One major benefit to every Caribbean country, including the BVI, is training. What the issue is that there are no college that you can go to that teaches you about post office.
True.
So there's a Caribbean Postal Training Center that was opened in Barbados in 2014. And that training center has benefited a number of postal employees from the Caribbean region because of the number of trainings they have put on. The trainings included postal security, postal operations, IPS post training, which is a track and trace product of the post office, and other trainings, postmaster general's training, all that they put on for us so that they can help develop the employees of the post, and which in turn helps us to provide the services that we provide to the public at large in the region.
Thank you for sharing that benefit with us. And would you like to discuss at this time what will be discussed during the conference?
Discussed during the conference are some of the issues that we currently have in the region, which is mostly the transportation issues. We have that issue in terms of getting the mail in a timely manner to and from different destinations, not just in the Caribbean, but across the world. That is one of the most important things to the post office and the industry. And once that is not right, the customer at the end of it suffers. So that is one of the major issues actually that I am looking forward to discussing, because at the conference we're also going to have a number of entities that will be presenting proposals so that we can rectify these issues.
And the conference is made up of a series of meetings. Would you like to share with us those meetings?
Yes, the conference is made up of the base Caribbean Postal Union annual meeting. Then we have the Universal Postal Union Regional Strategy Conference. This conference deals with the postal strategy of the Universal Postal Union. However, they've tailored it on a regional level.
Okay.
Also, there's the Council of Ministers of Postal Affairs meeting. I did not mention earlier when I was talking about what the union is, that the Council of Ministers are the ministers that are responsible for post. And these ministers are the policy-making body of the Caribbean Postal Union. So which includes for us is the Premier, because he's the Minister of Finance and the BVI Post falls under the Ministry of Finance.
Okay, so tell us, what is the relationship between the UPU and the CPU?
The relationship between the Universal Postal Union, which is the UPU, and the Caribbean Postal Union, which is the CPU, is that the Caribbean Postal Union is a restricted union of the Universal Postal Union. This means that when the strategy of the Universal Postal Union goes out, it's a strategy that spans 4 years. It's a 4-year cycle. So there are some things that every post office that is a member, every country that is a member of the union has to fulfill within that 4-year cycle. Now, because the union is so vast and and there are different countries, actually 192 member countries that are represented in the union, it is separated into segments of the world. So there's the Caribbean Postal Union, and there are other restricted unions as well. There's the Postal Union of the Asia Pacific, and there are other postal unions. So the Caribbean Postal Union represents this part of the world, which is the Caribbean region. And based on that, they then take the Universal Postal Union strategy and they roll it out on a regional level. And then there is where every post office within the region then takes the information from there to roll out locally.
What are some of the benefits that the BVI Post receive locally through this channel?
The benefits, like I mentioned earlier, is training. That's one of the most important benefits that we have received. We have been able to send out at least 6 employees on training to the Postal Center and also to Barbados and to St. Lucia in terms of the training via the CPU. Also, the UPU has been instrumental in providing some of those trainings as well. So the UPU and the CPU in collaboration has put on most of those trainings for us.
Okay. So let's discuss the conference and the daily activities and stuff like that. What will be happening from Monday and Tuesday?
From Monday and Tuesday, we will be having the Caribbean Postal Union Conference, the base conference. That's where the Postmasters General will discuss the issues that we're having internally to each postal administration, and then discuss the way forward in terms of us fixing those issues. That's basically an opening on Monday and Tuesday. On Monday, since that is the opening of the conference, the first day of the conference, we will be having a opening ceremony. And on Monday night, seeing that sometimes when delegates are flying, they fly in during the day of the first day of the conference. So on Monday night, we will be having a welcome reception to welcome all the delegates of the Caribbean Postal Union to the conference.
Okay. And the UPU meetings and the ministers' meetings will follow?
Yes, both will.
So after this conference comes to an end, what can the BVI consumer expect now that you guys have sit down, strategize, and find out the way moving forward for the post? What should I as a consumer be looking out for from the BVI Post?
What you can expect is a faster delivery service, because that is the most important thing in terms of the transportation of the mail. We are looking out for that, as well as a steady service in terms of, okay, one of the major issues we're having is the UK, getting the mail in from the UK. Having said that, of course, there are a number of UK expats living here in the BVI. And that is one of the major issues that we're currently having, and we've been working to solve those issues for a while now. However, based on the information that I've been given and that I've been seeing, I can be satisfied in seeing that we will be able to provide a better service, even though it would not happen overnight. But I am comfortable to say that we can build upon the ground level that they will place coming out of this meeting.
So within the next 5 years, and so we can definitely see an improvement in the postal services delivery system. So can you tell us what else is the post office currently working on?
Currently, as will be discussed also in the upcoming CPU meeting, is diversification. In order for the postal services across the world and the region to survive, we must diversify your services. We have already started, so therefore, within the next 5 years, the post office will have a whole other host of services which will get towards diversifying what it is we do on a regular basis so that we can satisfy the consumer and the public at large.
Excellent. As we wrap up this program, what else can the territory expect from the postal services?
The territory can expect diversification of the postal services. That as well will be one of the topics that will be discussed here in the CPU meeting. It will be reiterated, and it will also be reiterated in the Universal Postal Union Regional Strategy Conference meeting, which will be held here as well. And having a diversification of services, it means that we will be able to serve the public at large and also encourage other services to be built upon what it is we already do in the post.
I would like to thank my guests, Postmaster General Miss Pasha Stout from the BVI Post Office. For more updates about the Caribbean Postal Union Conference, visit the government's website at bvi.gov.vg or follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at BVI Government. I am Information Officer Cherie Smith. Thank you for listening.